Hey everyone, Anthony here. A few days ago I went and saw Blade Runner 2049 at the cinema, and the day before that I watched the original Blade Runner at home. I was expecting to love the original, but unfortunately I didn't even really like it. A film that focuses on style and atmosphere sounds right up my alley, but apart from a few moments here and there, it really wasn't engaging to me whatsoever. I found myself falling asleep at too many points, and that pretty much never happens to me, even in extreme circumstances. Like when I started watching Michael Haneke's Hidden at 2 AM while I was incredibly sleep deprived. And that film essentially woke me up because it engaged me so much in what was happening. Whereas Blade Runner put me to sleep even though I felt fully awake after watching Burn After Reading, which is a comedic masterpiece by the way. There are a lot more issues I have with the original Blade Runner, but diving into those would require a whole nother video, so now let me dive into the film that I actually do want to talk about. Blade Runner 2049, directed by Denis Villeneuve. One of my favorite directors for sure, and a director that consistently hits, whereas Ridley Scott, who directed the original Blade Runner, is more of a hit or miss. Villeneuve, as usual, puts out another masterpiece. Arrival being followed up by this just proves he's the best sci-fi director working in Hollywood today. He is an auteur with a compelling style, and the fact he's managing to bring his own vision into these massive projects, especially an already established project like this, is very respectable. This is indeed a very artsy science fiction epic. Every aspect of it feels so alive and well crafted. When scenes that are minimal in scale feel grand in general, then you know you're dealing with a masterwork.
You're a cop. I did your job once. I was good at it. I know.
The original Blade Runner established some really neat, thought-provoking concepts, but ultimately they felt very underdeveloped or simply underused. Blade Runner 2049, however, not only expands immensely on those established concepts, but also introduces a lot of new clever ideas. There are so many scenes that actually take advantage of the genre, utilizing the full potential of science fiction and delivering some truly astounding visuals. Something that pleasantly surprised me though was how much I appreciated the sound design. I mean really, I'm always appreciative of great soundtracks, but this film reminded me how important sound is in general when crafting an atmosphere in such detailed surroundings. Staring away from the technical side of things though, the acting was also on point. Gosling delivering subtle greatness as usual, Harrison Ford surprising me by how amazingly heartfelt his performance was. It actually felt like he cared about his character, thus giving it his best. Sylvia Hoeks was very intimidatingly intriguing throughout, and Jared Leto thankfully redeemed himself after this embarrassment. He had a very demanding presence, which in my eyes lived up to the effectiveness of Rutger Hauer's presence in the original. I know I said I don't like the original, but I do appreciate certain things about it quite a lot. I'm not dismissing it by any means, and I'll definitely rewatch it at some point. But for now I'm much more eager to rewatch 2049 on Blu-ray to experience all of the beautiful sci-fi artistry all over again. Another element that was taken from the original and vastly improved on was the romantic subplot that strongly links to the main themes of the film. The romance in the original was just Anakin and Padme in Star Wars Episode 2 levels of shallow, whereas here the romance is genuinely quite fascinating yet at the same time tragic. So captivating yet so melancholic to see unfold.
The key to the future is finally unearthed. Bring it to me.
There are so many aspects that made this viewing experience one of my absolute favorites at the cinema. The last time I had this much fun watching a film on the big screen was probably of The Hateful Eight, which I loved so much I went to see it twice. My experience was so great in fact that it inspired me to make this quick little review. Of course I'm late as usual, but if this sci-fi gem is still playing at a cinema near you and you haven't seen it, then do yourself a favor and go see it. If not, then at least buy it on Blu-ray or DVD when it comes out. Also by War for the Planet of the Apes. I wanted to make a quick review on that film too after seeing it at the cinema, but I was bogged down with the busy routine that is life and kind of gave up on it. But do support these films, because these are the types of huge productions that actually deserve attention and support. These are actual films with a genuine craft, a depth, and a lot of heart, rather than just another toy being shitted out by a factory that sets up the release of the next toy. So yeah, Blade Runner 2049. In my opinion, better than the original and definitely worth supporting.